Clock right now, and time to put a smile on your face because we brought the headliner from the Funny Bone into the studio with us as we do every Friday morning. Jackie?
That's right. We want to say good morning to Tim Gaither this morning.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us again. It's been a little while since we've seen your face around here.
It has been, what, a year, maybe more?
About that, yeah. So how about
it's been
that?
about a year. I'm seeing myself on TV. I always look like, my head always looks all shiny, like I just got into a bucket of chicken or something.
Well,
hey, nothing wrong with that. That sounds amazing this morning.
Good way to start the day is what we say.
It would be.
But you've been on the program before, and one of the things we want to, for those people that are just seeing you for the first time, want to let everybody know about your interesting story because you got started in comedy. You got your first taste of comedy at a very young age.
I was 5 years old. I was at church, and a Southern Baptist church. And you know how they bring the kids up to the front at a lot of churches to ask them questions? And the preacher, the Sunday before, we had gone to J.C. Penney's. Do you remember J.C. Penney's?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
There's still a couple of
Okay. We had gone to J.C. Penney's, and it was summertime, and I didn't have shoes on. I was like 5 years old, and I made my dad carry me because the concrete was so hot. I made him carry me into J.C. Penney's, and the preacher was like, you know, Southern Baptist Church. Well, kids, what do you think hell's going to be like? You know? And I'm like, and all the kids are like, oh, and I was like, hell, preacher, hell's going to be hotter than the J.C. Penney parking lot on the 4th of July. and the whole church started laughing, and I was just like, I like that feeling. And then every week when we get up there, I would try to be funny again.
You tried new material.
Yeah, every week. And sometimes it would work, and sometimes they wouldn't be listening right. Even then I was like, oh, that was funny. They just didn't hear it right. You know? Like, because it's all timing. And even back then I was like, oh, you just got to wait till they're not talking. And then, because I would like say something that I thought was funny and no one would laugh, and I'm like, well, you just wasted a great line.
Right.
That's never going to go
So you're
anywhere
honing
now.
your craft, you know, while you're still in grade school.
Without even knowing. I wasn't even in school yet, I don't think. And my poor mom would just like, she said she wanted to hide under the pew every week because she never knew what the heck I was going to say. But yeah, that's where I started, and I loved it. I loved it every Sunday going to church just because of that. And then after that, I'd go to sleep in the pew or whatever. But after
For that
my
one
show,
moment, you got excited.
Yeah.
Well, I know you didn't go professional at the age of 5. So
I did not.
when did you eventually decide to get on an actual stage?
Well, I was getting ready to graduate from college, and all my friends were getting jobs, and I thought, well, to hell with that. I don't.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah, I don't want to get a job. So I listened to a Bill Hicks CD. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, gosh, yeah. Brilliant,
genius comic. And at that point, I was going to be a teacher and a wrestling coach. I didn't know what else to do. And the closer I got to that becoming an actual reality, like right before I got into the School of Education, which is the final step, you know, you start student teaching and all that. I was like, I did like a teacher aiding thing where you do like 6th grade kids. And I was like, oh, I don't want to be a teacher. Like, this is awful. And I was starting to really get stressed out about it. And then my friend had me listen to this CD, and I walked home that night, and I was like, I thought to myself, that's the funniest guy I've ever heard. And I've never heard of him. So even if I don't get famous, even if I don't get famous, I could do this for a living. And I was like, there's clubs all over the country. And for the first time in 4.5 years of college, I was like excited about what I was going to do with my life. Because up to that point, I was like, I'll have my summers off, I'll coach wrestling. You know.
Just trying to convince yourself.
Yeah, I'll be the worst teacher ever. You know, I would totally be like that take your test and pass it back to your neighbor so he can grade it. I would have been that teacher.
Hey, but you would have been the most popular teacher.
I would have been. I would have been popular.
Yeah.
For the year or two that they employed me until they fired me.
So where did you go to school when all this was unfolding? Where were you at school?
I wrestled for 2 years at Labette Community College, and then I went to K-State where I graduated.
Okay. As I said, because coming from being in Iowa right now, huge wrestling community and state, and you were undefeated in your senior year.
I was a state champion, my senior year. How do you know that? You remember that from last time?
You know, we do a little research around here.
You can Google that stuff.
But I mean, it's a big thing for us here when it comes to wrestling. So hearing that, I think people get excited and want to learn more about you.
Yeah, I've got a wrestling T-shirt on underneath this.
Perfect.
It's actually, you guys are Iowa State around here, though, aren't you?
Iowa and Iowa State both.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Iowa.
We're kind of in the middle.
I've got an Iowa wrestling shirt on right here.
That's got the top wrestling program right there. You know.
Already. See, that's how you get people to show up to your show, sir. So you're smart.
Show that again. Show that again.
You know what's going on.
Check it out.
That's Herky Hawk. Hawk.
Yeah, there's Herky there.
Yeah.
How about that? So again, Hawk fans, you want to go out and see this guy. He's going to be at the Funny Bone.
Do you communicate with the wrestling team at
I do some
City anymore?
regional training center shows sometimes at the University of, or the Ohio State University.
Yeah.
And so I've gotten to commentate, so I've met quite a few wrestlers from there.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
All right,
Yeah.
well, we'll learn more about that
Yeah.
and all about Tim Gaither. We'll just come back as soon as you can, folks, right here on CWI Live. But before you do, head over on your computer and go to funnybonedm.com. That's where you can get your tickets. 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Good morning, everybody. It's 8:22. Welcome back to the program. Tim Gaither in studio with us. He's headlining at the Funny Bone. 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow. You want to get out to the Funny Bone. Heck, it's going to be close to 100 degrees over the next couple of days. Might want to go to a place that has air conditioning that works.
Yeah, cold drinks, great food, and wonderful comedy. Thank you for joining us again, Tim Gaither. So you were born in Arkansas.
By the way, real quick, I think we only have 1 show tonight.
Oh, yeah, okay.
One show tonight, 2 shows tomorrow.
7:30, 2 tomorrow.
My
Okay,
bad.
got it.
Sorry about that.
All good. I just didn't want people showing up at 9:30.
Well, you can just do an extended program. People
Do
start
a
coming through the
parking
door. It's
lot.
like,
Do 2
come on
hours,
in.
yeah.
We'll just keep on going. So you were born in Arkansas,
Right.
but basically grew up in the Midwest, correct?
I grew up in Kansas. I lived there since I was about 5.
Yeah.
5 until about 8 years ago when I moved out to LA.
Okay, about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I can't believe it's been that long
I was
already,
get-
but yeah.
A little different, huh?
a big shock. I mean, going from the South to the Midwest to now to the big city.
A
of
little
LA.
bit. I think I told you guys last time the hardest thing about it is just how nice people are in the Midwest.
Right.
And not to say there's not nice people in California and LA where I live, but they've got their own thing going on. You know, they're very like, if you have a problem, they don't care.
Yeah.
It's not their problem, right?
Exactly. Like if you pull over to get gas, you know, the guy behind the counter, no one knows where anything is. They're like, we don't know. You need something? Do you need to pee? You have to pay to pee here. You know, and it's like, well, I just wanted to I'm lost. You know, in the Midwest, people not only will tell you how to get someplace, but like people will stop and make sure the cashier's giving you the right directions. I'm like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. You just follow me. I'm going out.
Yeah,
They'll
just follow me, I'll take you there.
lead you there.
I don't know how many people I've had be like, just follow me. And I'm like, all right, I guess he's not an axe murderer.
Do you find that in the comedy clubs as well? Are comedy clubs different here in the Midwest than they are on the coast, so to speak?
That's all pretty much, you know, the same. We all got the same job to do, and the managers do, and all that. So it's pretty
But
similar.
what about the crowds, though?
Oh, the crowds are definitely a little more PC, and if people come to my show, I'm not very politically correct at all.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean I'm not offensive. I don't think. I try not to. You know, I have all kinds of people of all different backgrounds that I think enjoy my show. So yeah, I like it here in Des Moines.
It's almost like it's at home, isn't it?
It's a little bit, yeah. The people in the Midwest and the South and everywhere but the coast are. A lot of people in those areas think that. I've heard a lot of people say that they just consider the Midwest and this area, the whole country besides the coast, like flyover zone. And I'm like, you idiots, that's the whole country.
Right.
You know, those are the people that make this country work. It's not the people just on the coast that
Right.
work in TV. You know, there's 48 other states that do stuff.
Exactly.
But the crowds are just a little more, they're a little tighter generally. And they're also looking for big stars. You know, like sometimes you'll follow 3 or 4 big names and then they're like, well, who are you? They won't even listen to you.
Really?
Or
It
even give
depends
you a
on the
shot.
crowd and the venue and the night and what time you go up and all that. But
Because it's their backyard, so
Yeah.
those people are there. They can go up on stage at any given time.
Right.
But you're a guy that's next week, for example. You're at the Funny Bone this week. Next week you're going to be in Vegas.
I am going to be in
for
Vegas.
crying out loud. Yeah, and that's a normal stop, isn't it, Vegas?
It is. I work there about once a year, and what made me laugh is last time I was there, there was a tank top in the lobby that said "Sun's out, guns out." You know how big an idiot you got to be to wear a tank top that says "Sun's out, guns out"? I do look good in it, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's the shirt that's under the Hawkeye shirt. We'll be showing that off here in a matter of moments.
If you want to see that, we'll give you a peek at that in just about 10 minutes, so hopefully you can stick around for that. But again, I get 1 show tonight, okay? 1 show tonight at the Funny Bone,
7:30.
and then 2 shows tomorrow night in the air-conditioned Funny Bone, funnybonedm.com on the internet, so get your tickets accordingly. Again, maybe you're going to be at the golf tournament all day long or at the Pork Expo all day long. Finish off your evening evening over at the Funny Bone. Stick around. We're going to get you caught up as what's happening news-wise and sports-wise, and then we will be back more with Tim Gaither coming up in just a little bit.